The planet has already lost close to 70% of the forest cover to deforestation. 1 in 9 people worldwide do not have access to safe and clean drinking water. And in India, the situation is alarming, with 22 out of the 32 big cities facing an acute water crisis. The situation is not going to improve by any stretch of imagination. But can we still stop the rot? What are the solutions and how can we overcome the implementation challenges? These are a few questions which I'm going to seek answers from the panelists today. I'm Samriti Grover and welcome to Business as Unusual, presented by The Body Shop.
Our planet is under an unprecedented threat of climate change. With flora and fauna being destroyed, and the global temperature rising. This is leading to an ecological imbalance that is slowly destroying our Mother Nature. Corporates and creative minds are trying their best to make a positive difference. And joining this brigade is The Body Shop. On their 40th anniversary, this ethical brand pledges to protect our planet. From creating corridors of biodiversity to using eco-friendly packaging, this corporate giant is leaving no stone unturned to do their bit for the environment.
Body Shop is one of those rare brands which actually, in a lot of real ways, have given back to the society, where it's very largely an important part of their ethics to not use animal testing. It's an ethical brand.
Their bottles, their packaging can be used again. Their bottles can be refilled. So here again, you're saving on the environment.
It is not only a beauty retailer. In fact, it is one of the most ethical brands in the world. And I think that can be a real change. That can bring about a real change in the beauty industry.
It's time we protect the earth. It's time we initiate action. It's time to enrich, not exploit.
We have, an illustrious panel joining us today. And we have Mike Pandey, a celebrated environmentalist and filmmaker specializing in films about wildlife and environment. Christopher Davis, International Director of Campaigns and Corporate Responsibility, The Body Shop. And Yogesh Saini from Delhi Street Art, who is constantly working towards adding more color to Delhi's open spaces and encouraging the citizens to keep their public spaces clean. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us today. Let me begin with you, Christopher. 2016 marks the 40th anniversary of The Body Shop. And, to celebrate this milestone, you've launched a new program called Enrich Not Exploit. What was the idea behind committing yourselves to this cause and the need to look at ethical and sustainable global business solutions?
It is our 40th birthday this year. In fact, it's our 10th birthday in India, so it's a really double celebration. We're launching our new commitment called Enrich Not Exploit, and we have stated our aim as a business to be the world's most ethical and truly sustainable company. So that's really the flag that we're putting in the ground. The reason that we're doing that is everything is telling us, the science, the academics, all of the knowledge in the world are telling us that business needs to do more. It needs to do more to protect the environment. It needs to do more to protect society. So under our commitment, our aim is that the business, the Body Shop, will do nothing to harm the environment and only will have a positive impact on society.
So are you saying that it's high time that corporates, change their approach and look towards environment as a core issue and, inculcate that as a part of their work culture now?
Absolutely. It is time for corporations to stop talking about being a little less bad, or doing a little less damage. It is time for corporations to be saying, actually, what we are going to do is head towards true sustainability, scientific sustainability. And for the Body Shop, under our Enrich Not Exploit commitment, we have set 14 goals, which we will reach over the next 40 years as a first step in this journey on true sustainability. But I think my belief is business has so much power. Business is a real driver of economic change, of social change. We need to use that power really well. And at the Body Shop, that's absolutely our aim to do that.
Mike, you've been making films on environment conservation, and through the medium of your films, you are also trying to educate and spread information about how to protect the planet. According to you, what is the biggest environmental hazard that we are grappling with today?
I think it's the changing lifestyles, and what's more disturbing is the greed. Suddenly we have become a greed-driven species, and the need for more is, and the plunder that we are causing around us. We're not against development. There has to be development, but it does not have to be at the cost of the environment. We need sustainability if we are really serious about the future. And for that, corporates and the common citizen, everyone else, we are the consumers, need to think. And the Earth is in a crisis, and whether it's climate change or global warming, these are all realities.
Yogesh, you think that's the biggest environment challenge that we face today?
There is a huge amount of greed. There is a huge amount of focus on just getting to the bottom line, quarterly results, whether it's for corporates and others, and that drives everything. But I would say, in general, there's a lot of information out there with people, but I would wish there was more awareness. One of the things we are trying to do is kind of bring about more awareness at whatever level we can. Sure. As I say, we might go one wall at a time or one small group of people at a time. But if we feel we can make a change to the thinking of even a few of those people, maybe it lasts for a lifetime, maybe it lasts for a few days, but that has a multiplier effect.
But you've also taken a very interesting approach, to spread the message. Using art as a medium of social change.
Right.
And the whole drive under Delhi street art has been phenomenal, where they've kind of instilled a sense of responsibility in the common man to keep their surroundings clean. So why don't you talk about that drive?
Sure. It started out very simply like that. I mean, I am an engineer by education, and art has been a passion. And of course, anything which can change our cities for the better, makes a big difference. Lived in different places for many years. So coming back to India, especially to New Delhi, and there is a lot of pollution, there's a lot of issues that people grapple with, and that leads to basically a lot of frustration. And instead of just sitting back and complaining, which is what even initially I was doing, I figured there has to be some more real things to be done. Whether it's the garbage cans of Lodi Gardens, which we saw, and people are trashing everywhere but not putting them into the cans. So we said if we make these more attractive, if they catch the attention of the people, they did catch the attention of the people as soon as we got permissions to paint them, so much so people would take permission from us to take photographs of these. We said, this is still a garbage can, please use it. Sure, take a photograph with it. And I think one thing led to another. That became a bit of a small movement. We didn't start out by being overtly, trying to be preachy or giving out messages. It was bringing us aesthetics and a sense of change, visual change, to our public spaces, and that's what we continue to do.
Christopher, on that note, India, everyone says, is a highly complex market. So, whether it's the consumers, whether it's the brands, do you think they understand the pressing need of actually going green? How did you tackle this issue in a market like India?
Well, we take a global view. I think the challenges that we face with consumers in India are the same challenges that we face in many parts of the world. How do we share the challenge that we're facing as a human race, and how do we create change? And I guess from our perspective at the Body Shop, there are two paths we could go by. We could talk about how desperate things are, how challenging things are, or we can talk about the challenges that we face in a creative way and in an inspiring way. And that's kind of where we go in the Body Shop. Every time you shop at the Body Shop, we tell our customers you are making a difference, whether you're buying products that are made using community trade ingredients that are enriching the community, whether you're buying from a store which is powered by green energy. You know, using that creativity that brands like the Body Shop are brilliant at is, this is where I believe anyway, you can start to push the argument and try and inspire change. And I think the same with creatives here. You know, if we can make films, if we can create art to bring people into the space, to talk about change, that's where the secret lies.
So do you think education is the way forward if you really want, you know, that translates into action and, you know, there needs to, and make a difference in that sense?
I think education is the crucial link here. It's only when you understand that you begin to respect, and what you respect you protect and you love. And there is, I think, general need for awareness, sensitizing people, for people to understand the link between their own lives and nature. It's only when they realize that the tree that they're cutting down is the very one that gives them life-supporting oxygen or even water. I don't think many people in India know that forests actually give us water. In southern India, there are no Himalayan mountains, but 360 rivers flow out of the forests of the Western Ghats. You cut the forest, the water is gone, and 400 million people will be impacted. Inform them of that, and forests will begin to become safer. I think there is urgent need for education.
But, you know, I want you to really talk about, you know, the disappearing wildlife species on our planet that has suddenly come up and is making headlines, because, you know, I read the statistics somewhere where 52% of the world's animals have vanished in the last 40 years. And it's really alarming because, you know, their natural habitats are being destroyed or damaged. So is there something we can do about this issue?
You're absolutely right. 50% of the natural treasure we have had is gone forever. And that's why the disbalance. We need a balance, an equilibrium, if the planet is to survive. It's very important for us to understand that mankind cannot live in isolation. We are not the supreme commanders of this planet. We need, for example, let me say, the bees and a few insects that pollinate over 82% of our food and fruits. Kill the bees and the insects and we are gone. That's how fragile we are. Life on the planet is interdependent and interconnected. That message has to go to children at an early age. Educate them, sensitize them, for them to understand, and only then you will see a change.
And Christopher, following that, there is a strict ban on animal testing, you know, at Body Shop as well. So was it a conscious decision to go 100% natural?
Well, we certainly are dedicated, and since the formation of the company by our founder Anita Roddick, have been against animal testing. It's part of our DNA, it's part of our founding philosophy, a philosophy which says you have to protect animals. You know, animals should not suffer because of beauty. So it's a key part of how we work. You know, if we can be part of creating a more sustainable lifestyle for consumers, then that's a step in the right direction.
Well, hold on to that thought. It's time for a short break. On the other side, we talk about some key issues that have startled the nation recently. Stay tuned.
Over 3,000 acres of green cover destroyed in the Uttarakhand forest fires. Maharashtra faced the worst drought in 100 years. Unprecedented floods across Chennai startled the entire nation. And the national capital made headlines across the globe for its rising air pollution levels. Climate change has become the biggest environmental hazard grappling us today, and it's time we stand up and make a difference.
Welcome back to Business as Unusual, presented by The Body Shop. Mike, I want to ask you, is this a sign of Mother Nature telling us that enough is enough?
I think the fire, yes, the fire was started by lots of people, vested interest, and I think there's a nexus, and over 3,000 hectares going just like that, burning for over 3 months, sets me thinking, where have we gone wrong? The droughts definitely are part of a result of human activities, and the earth is retaliating. And when the earth retaliates, it's the most powerful force on the planet. Nothing will be left. So it's a warning system to really lift all of us, to the whole planet, that if we don't learn, there'll be devastation beyond recognition.
Christopher, some of the reasons cited for these disasters was extreme change in climate, poor rainfall, factors that are caused because of an imbalance that has been created in our ecosystem. What do you think is the key social responsibility of any corporate company in a situation like this? And here, I want to bring in the point of the biobridges concept that is started by you. Are they actually corridors of biodiversity that help enriching the planet?
So yes, the BioBridge initiative is a brand new initiative at the Body Shop. It is actually, as you say, land corridors linking up areas of rich biodiversity. So the animals' gene pool is enriched. So we have already started building a BioBridge in Vietnam, and every time a customer comes in to the Body Shop at this time, they will build, for every time they purchase, 1 meter square of BioBridge. So we've started in Vietnam, but we are also looking to start a new one in India, in the Garo Hills in India. So that's something that we're researching at the moment, and we're really excited about driving that forward and launching it to our customers, not just in India, but around the world in the near future.
In fact, there has been innovation on the packaging front as well. The air carbon technology that you're using, just give us a lowdown on it. And can that be used by other industries as well?
Air carbon is a new innovation which we have created in partnership with a company based out of Harvard University. Air carbon essentially is making plastic polymer, so a plastic like you would see in any packaging. But the difference is you're making the plastic using methane, which is a greenhouse gas, and oxygen, and combining it into a solid. So it's a great innovation because it is reducing the greenhouse gases in the world, and it's also reducing our dependency on fossil fuels. So that's going to be in our stores by the end of the year.
Yogesh, I want you, let me bring you in at this point of time. Delhi has been making headlines because of its air pollution, because of the Yamuna getting polluted. As individuals, what can we do to make a difference? Because everybody is trying to find a solution to these two problems here.
I think Delhi's also been making a lot of news with its street art, besides the pollution and the traffic and the other issues that you hear about. There is a lot of change happening, I think, at the ground level. The involvement of a lot of young people is growing, whether it's any kind of initiative, be it a cleanup initiative, be it adding aesthetics and art to a space, or be it just even putting together a group to go and raise awareness. I think that's where Delhi's real hope lies. It's in its people. Now the question is, how do you channel all of this and structure it better so whatever is being done at the big corporate level or the government level also brings this under its umbrella, so we don't have these disjointed efforts which will produce results but not as big results as they would if actually people were to kind of come together, like-minded people to come together and find bigger solutions.
We need collaborative effort at all levels, policymakers, the citizens, our leaders. And when information goes out and percolates, I think you will see a difference. And the earth is resilient. It can bounce back. All it needs is a chance. So are we really ready to give it that chance?
Christopher, what's the biggest challenge that Body Shop faces to kind of fulfill their vision? And how do you intend to be relevant, whereas, your contribution towards environment is concerned, maybe for the next 40, 50 years to come?
I think our biggest challenge is the biggest challenge that most companies face, which is fossil fuels. The world economy is still reliant on fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are still subsidized by the majority of governments, and getting businesses, getting societies' reliance on fossil fuels move towards renewable energy is the critical act that we all need to take. It's not just a challenge for the Body Shop, it's a challenge for all companies. So I think that's really where we need to move. We need governments to move. We need society to move to adopt the green energy. And you know, we as a company, we generate a lot of energy using solar panels where we can. In India, we've invested in some wind turbines to start the movement. But we really need governments to help us and take us away, keep the fossil fuel in the ground. That's the key to stopping climate change. That's really what has to happen.
So if I may say, key takeaways from this discussion would be education and spreading awareness is a must. Corporates to make such initiatives a part of their working culture, and government to play a bigger role. Mike, you would agree, or you want to add?
I agree. Enforcement is crucial.
Isn't it? What about you, Yogesh?
Absolutely. I think those are all key factors. I wouldn't say a bigger role. I would just say just play an active role, because let the people play the bigger role and just support them in whatever they're doing and just take it to the next level.
So, Christopher, what would be your closing remarks for this discussion?
I think having listened to Mike and Yash, my closing remark would be about partnership. So I think the Body Shop as a brand, through art, through film, the three of us have got a huge opportunity perhaps to work together. And maybe the bio-bridge that we are building, soon to build in the Garrow Hills, could be a good chance for us to collaborate, to build something together and really do what I think we all agree needs to happen, drive education and drive awareness change.
So maybe the next time I see all of you, there would be some partnership happening in a program that all of you might be working together, perhaps.
It's a nice dream, isn't it?
None of us will be dressed so cleanly as well.
I think a partnership is already in the offing, because there are a couple of huge sacred groves in the Garrow Hills that need to be protected. And what Chris was saying is exactly on the same level. And with support from the Martin Luther University, we are trying to initiate some action at ground levels.
Well, thank you, gentlemen, for your thoughts. With that, we come to the end of this episode. Hope this discussion will help ignite a sense of responsibility for our planet in each one of us. Thank you for watching.